Welcome, everybody. It's Friday night, mid-raid. I hope everybody's raid is going at least as expected. We have a good group. I've already posted the Hangouts on the right-hand side, just in case anybody would like to join us. We're joined, we'll do left to right this time. Nines.
How's it going, everyone?
Pretty good. And Disturbed God, Christopher.
Hello, people.
And Dr. Death.
Hello.
And Mr. George.
What's up, guys?
And Brian snuck in afterwards just to get himself out of order.
You wanted me to wait till the show started, but the thing wasn't loading, so I didn't know when it started.
Okay, it's okay. Mr. Tito.
Hi, everybody.
And Waddle, or what the hell?
What's happening?
And this is Hefe. And I guess anybody that wants to start, I mean, the idea here with this show is we're going to have some people, you know, if anybody wants to join from the from chat, if you have any raid-related videos that you sort of like to talk about or whatnot, I know we have a couple within the existing group, but we'll use those as sort of the background instead of the slides as sort of a structure to talk about everything. But does anybody have anything to start with?
I just want to see how everyone's finding the raid. I mean, I'm having fun using my Tide Seekers, but man, I'm pretty damn burnt out on this raid. Adding the 107 really did not make me happy.
Yeah, I finished
So it's
out.
not the fun.
Oh,
Go ahead, thanks.
Well, I was gonna say I
No,
finished
go
out last night with everything I wanted, but I'm glad this is the last raid of the cycle. I want it to be gone already.
I did this raid the normal way that I do these type of raids. I hate subs. I don't like the 105s. I don't like the 107s. The Tide Seekers, thank God, I can auto the 70 sets and do it at work and not have to worry about it.
What he really means is that he hit the blitz option about 500 times.
No, he did it more because he was then doing it for the Alliance members. I have to remember that.
I'm at 5 coins with 3 Tide Seekers doing the 70s.
What do you got on those? I'm at 2 coins with 1 Tide Seeker. Thank you, Nines.
Damn it, boy.
I'll take my bow right here.
Let me get the build. I'll get the build up. Well, actually, I'll show the build anyways.
I think we're going to discuss it in the show. So, do we? Yeah, I find this raid style a little bit nerve-wracking. I still haven't gone into the the new one because it.
The 107.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten to the 107s because, like, if you screw up, I know how to do it, but if you screw up a little bit, you know, you're out. You know, if you're not going to coin it, you're out for 3 hours or whatnot. So it's. I don't like the aspect of this. If you screw up a little bit, you're out of the game for a while. And it definitely looks like on the 107 you need to bring in a full fleet. You can't really test it out using 1 or 2 at a time.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
The 107, it's ridiculous, especially because their connection is not the best one, and the moment your ships doesn't move as you want, and even when you get there and you target the main hulk, and you see that you're starting to shoot anything but that, it's frustrating. And as you said, any mistake, it's taking you. It takes more damage, one mistake in the 107 that can take in the other one. One mistake in the other one maybe takes you 30, 40 minutes, but here one mistake, it's a lot of drones around you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
well they shrunk the combat map on that 107. That's what's annoying me. You know, on the 105 you got plenty of room. You can drive around, play with the target. You know what I mean. But in the 107, they got the edges of that map sitting right there on top of them holes.
Yeah. and you have to go all the time with the thumb, working with the thumb, because if you go with the thumb closer, and the edges are not enough for you. You have to struggle just to get over the edges of the map. If not, they hit you.
I thought there was plenty of room.
And
I just thought
Oh, go ahead.
that it was a lot of technical driving in it. I mean, it was I don't know that I've ever gotten as many requests for a video as for the damn 107, and I was like, I'm not gonna. I had no patience for it at all. I got one. I think I tried it 4 times. I only got it down once, and to get everything, including the extra point ships, I had to time out in order to do it. So I'm not liking the 107 at all. It's a lot of technical driving. You can make the room, but you have to make the room first. That was the easiest path that I could find, and I am lazy, so.
Yeah, I'm wondering if is there anybody here that kills the 3 priority ships? Doing that one?
The 4 of them. There's 4 of them in the 107.
Or the 4?
There's 4 of them. Yeah. With
I guess I am missing one
time
already.
Yeah, I did it one time, and I had to time out in order to do it. With the Tide Seekers, I can do it. But using the Hell Wraiths, I've only done it once. And like I said, I timed out. I had to time out because I didn't have enough time to finish the target. It's a lot of technical driving. Like if you drive the 105s, and you know how you get all, tight-shouldered, trying to concentrate and get that, gut on the edge and all that other stuff. It's even worse. It's even more technical driving in the 107 than the 105.
You got to hold it tight.
Find it fun at all.
Yeah, well, for me, the driving is not the main problem, because as you keep doing them, you get better. For me, the problem is the points. That is what is pissing me so much.
They did
problem that
the points because of the extra targets and stuff. The points were devalued.
No.
Bit.
I'm not even. My problem is not the extra 50 minutes you have to get. My point is that in the first of these raids, in this set of the subs, if you all remember, they took away some points from the A target if you were level 85. I feel in the same way with the S target this time, because on August raid we were taking 10 millions for doing this, the 2 targets in an S set. This time we are just getting the 6 millions. So we are getting 40% less. If we have to struggle, it's 38.5 because you got 6 millions 150.
Well, that's a whole nother raid set, but I'm talking about within the raid set. The points have been devalued a little bit too, because of the 2 targets.
Yeah,
which is I think why they bumped up some of the extra completion bonus.
But that was not even enough, because if you look at it, last month you were getting 3.7 for doing the S target. This time you hit 2 targets and you don't reach the 7.4. That should be the fair amount.
That's why it's devalued.
Yeah, the completion bonus normally is about half of the sets, at least on the higher end, and now they just took a big chunk out of it. I think a lot of that had to do with the way they designed the targets. The 105 can be done for free, and a lot of players have gotten good enough to do the 105 for free. So it's 1.8 million, but it's kind of easy now, let's say. I mean, my 105 mechanics were still on point, but that 107, it's a lot harder, and there's some garbage. And if I can live 100 miles from Kick servers at like 12:30 in the morning, and you still give me spinny ships and lag, and you 107, I will tell you 107 go to hell.
Well, the thing I've said since the beginning of this raid cycle, it's I'm one of these guys that my time is worth way more than the points that I'm going to get if I'm going to do it for free. And they've got to come up with a happy medium where we can, and they've done it somewhat, where they can do the targets and not spend 20 minutes on a freaking S set.
I mean, I would have been okay if they had replaced the 107, the 105 with the 107, because then okay, it's a new target, it's going to take time, and it is like I said, more difficult drive. So you're going to get more damage on average over the bunch of players that are doing it. Doing
Or
them
given
both, though,
given equal value or more value,
right?
The increased price of the cost of the prizes associated with it.
Yes, yeah, because well, I mean, 100 million points. I mean, come on. So yeah,
But at the same time, devaluing each target. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if they had done a replacement, a straight up replacement, it probably would have went a lot better. I mean, spending I don't know how much time to actually do both of those targets sucks.
I don't like that idea though, as far as a straight up replacement, because what I always think is a good raid strategy from kick size perspective is as they move along, create a new target, keep an old one, get rid of an old one, and just move along so that there's something that somebody can build from in the previous target. I'm not saying that you would build anything different between these two targets, but it would, I think, would limit complaints, and people like to feel like they feel more comfortable with something that they've seen before, as opposed to something brand new where everybody riots in the forums and whatnot. I don't like the idea of a straight up replacement. Maybe, keep just not devaluing them is the problem that I had.
Oh, I'm just, what, I want everybody's opinion on this. I'm trying to figure out why Kixeye has done this. Why raise up the amount of points to get the new hole, devalue the amount of points that we would be getting from the targets, and say they're doing it to try and limit the number of cannoneers that people are going to have on the water, knowing darn good and well that the next raid format's going to be based off the cannoneer.
Yeah, and not the Centurion. Like that, there's no splash damage reduction, which is the main selling point. Centurion on the Cannoneer. The Cannoneer even has like negative stun resist, which is like, are you serious right now? Like you actually did this?
Well, no, it doesn't have negative stun resist. That's
it's negative. It's negative stun resistance. It is.
It says negative, but we are wondering here if it's negative or just
it is negative.
It's a graphical.
Not
a graphical.
That's what I thought too.
It's not a graphical error. It is actually negative resistance.
You will be stunned
I thought
longer.
That thing had 100%.
It used to, but now it doesn't. Now it has negative 50 in that you are stunned for 1.5 times the amount of time.
Where's this coming from?
Get good.
I know.
In other words, you cannot use the Cannoneer to hit a mine. You use Cannoneer to hit a mine, them ice fields are going to stop you dead in your tracks.
Not slow, stun. Slow resist is just fine normally.
Yeah, it's just stun.
I'm putting Edgy 4 on my Cannoneers anyways, unless something comes out.
It's going to be a new mechanic.
So in the raid, we're going to have fucking EMPs going off then, pretty much.
Probably.
And I would bet money that those EMPs would go off at a range that is in between 95 and 100, just to make sure that extra 5% of range on the Cannoneer doesn't go to waste, because screw you, that's what, I guess.
Well, I'll tell you, when you guys were talking about replacements and what I think is kind of funny, everyone was always told this is going to be the raid for the Hell Wraith. You could do it right now. If you guys could have one fleet completely built your own way, Scald, would you rather have Hell Wraiths or Tide Seekers?
Tide Seekers win most slam, not close.
I'd take Hell Wraiths, because you can do them for free with Hell Wraiths. With Tide Seekers, you're spending coin.
Okay, so this is the story of my raid, because I'm a full-time student, and I work part-time, and I have to commute, which is another part-time job, basically. And so I was like, well, okay, I have a lot of things that are more important than this game. Reflect on self-confidence, this and that. Can I do this? And right when the raid started, I took my Calamity Tide Seeker, which builds in the side chat in here, with the Harlock Tide Seeker out. I did a 105 for 1 hour 5 minutes. Basically 2 coins and a fee repair, 1 coin with R&D 30 and the Grease Monkeys. Did some quick math. I can get everything new, sum total, all tokens, the Fury, and like some swag in the 6-day raid with 1 ship, all on auto. Suck it. Like that, you don't. If you have the Tide Seeker built well with Calamities, you really don't need to do anything to get the top stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
Speaking of which, should we, Nines, you ready to transfer, and we'll Since not everybody has a ghost crawler to hit 105s, I know Chris is doing this live, but are you ready to show the video of yours doing the entire S set?
Wait, I thought George was supposed to be doing this. Yeah, I'm ready.
No, okay. You know George doesn't know how to do that.
Who's George?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's George?
The
Yeah.
guy with the
I think
bad
it's that-
haircut.
I think it's that Canadian that pretends to be American at times.
Okay. Do you have me? I said.
Yeah, I got you. I said.
Yeah, we have you.
Okay, so I'm gonna start playing it here. So basically, I'm running one Urlock Tide Seeker with 3 Calamity Seekers with a mayhem on each for the drones. I've tested every crew I could think of: Sea Serpents, doing Steelheads, Maidens, demo crew. If you got them, use them. They were knocking an hour repair off of mine just doing it this way. So all you do is send the Harlock Tide Seeker to the corner and just let him go at it. And I've tested one ship, and they still one-shot everything. So like Brian said, one Calamity Tide Seeker can still do a 105.
It's so good.
And I'm posting your. I'm going to post your build from Huggy in the chat. That way you don't have to. Whoops.
How
It's
many
too
coins?
long. It's
My
24 characters too long.
How
Oh,
many,
no.
How many coins does it take?
For the full S set with a demo crew, it takes 4 with my build. With any other crew, like I said, Steelheads, Maidens, Sea Serpents, you're looking at 6 coins. Even with a Grease Monkey out on the 4 coins and 6 coins, that's with the Grease Monkey on dock. The repair whenever you go back. But the second you start trying it with anything but that demo crew, you're looking at a 6 coin repair no matter what.
Because mine's 6 coins and I'm not using calamities at all. And I wasn't using a crew at all. I mean, I used a grease monkey. That was it. I think it's just the Tide Seeker. The Tide Seeker overall is I mean, this is what it was made for.
It was made for lazy people, is what they told us.
Yeah.
And
Exactly what it is.
yeah. And
Those
I
would be
love the
just- well,
I love
no.
the feeling that they told us that Tide Seekers would never be able to do the top tier targets.
No,
And
Ricken has said a few times that if you were using it with the Harlock, you would be able to do the TLS.
Yeah, he explicitly said that.
okay.
On the forums?
Yeah, I think he
On the forums, I don't know, but on the shows, I have heard him saying it a few times.
Yeah, no, I think Doom on the Raken on one of the shows. I think it was on the TFC one, and Doom in the forums both said if you had the Harlock would enable you to do top tier targets. That's how they introduced the Harlock Tide Seeker.
For those not wanting to coin and would rather say slow repair, this build with the fleet will go and do an A set, and it will actually do 20 million from autoing A sets, and then you can put it in for about an 8-hour repair in the dock without a grease monkey. So even if you do that twice a day or even once a day for the 6 days, you're still looking at getting all 3 new hulls plus the new weapon and special.
20 million on before you go repair.
Yes.
How many sets is that?
8.
5,
9?
8.
9.
No,
It's
20 million.
it's 2.
it's about 3 sets because nearly close to 4 because you're getting 6 millions for each set.
No, I'm saying
sorry,
for the
Ace.
He said A set.
Yeah, 8. It's about 8 A sets. It's 20 million. It's
8
sort
A
of
sets.
like
And
20.
what
It's like
crew-
21 because it's a little more than 2.5. But
What crew are you doing it with?
Yeah. With doing it with that, no crew whenever I do that.
That's not a bad deal right there at all.
Is your video over, Nines?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. Alrighty. should we move over to the one George's with the 105s that I'm sure everybody's seen, but George may have some, explain why he might have done things certain ways or didn't do them other ways. You have a link for that, right, Nines?
Yes, and I think just. Am I still presenting?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nines, you got a screen share though.
I thought it was.
Nope. Technical difficulties, folks. Hold on a second.
It's no problem.
Okay, there we go.
Nines can just do play-by-play, and then George do color commentary.
So this is from, I believe, last raid, which was the same as the raid before that, and I think we had made some slides, Jeff, last month. I mean, last.
Yeah, we took some
last raid.
screenshots of different angles and whatnot, and tried to explain it. But in case people don't want to go back, a month and watch that.
Sorry,
show.
guys.
Yeah, this will show you. This will show you some. So the angles that like we spoke about angles of attack last month and stuff, and this actually will show you in real time, how I had come up on the sides of the targets and stuff, and actually after this, wow, this is the jumpy one. You know what? How about you cut that one, and I'll see if I can find the better video. I'm sorry, that's my fault. If you guys want to jump into that next, I'll find that in the interim.
We don't really have that many, so we can talk about whatever. I mean, there is Thunder does have one that's out there where he does a 107 for no damage.
Yeah.
I just don't want to show it on this show because in case for some reason he needs views or whatnot, I don't want to be.
Yeah, we haven't gotten permission.
Yeah, we could do it, but it feels like a dick move to me, so I don't want to do it. So, yeah.
Well, what we can do is post it on the chat, the link. So if people click, he will get the views.
Yeah.
It has to be you because we don't have moderators here but you, so only you can post links.
Okay, I'll find it.
Yeah, well done on that, by the way. The free 107, if you're watching, fantastic, very very tricky, and glad to see someone figured it out. I'm not that good.
He figured it out, but I can tell you that he's a very good driver because, for example, when he goes and hits the first of the big ships and comebacks, he's just nearly timing to dive out again when he's killing that scout that is sitting over there, and he's one mistake and he was 1 second away and he was going to get shot. So,
well, that's kind of how it goes sometimes with these targets. Even the 105, if you're a little off in your positioning, you got to waste a couple seconds trying to get to a different position.
Jeff, I actually have this loaded up if you want. FA.
Yeah, I have you on present.
Oh, okay, I can start this?
Yep.
All right, so this was from, is it showing up well now? It's not jumpy or shaky or anything?
At the moment it's not jumpy. It looks like no.
Let's see right now. This will tell us. Is it good?
Yeah, I mean the.
Yeah, now it's
you might want to up your DPS on the view. It's fuzzy, but it's not jumpy. There we go.
So this shows the angles that you come in to attack. I've since changed a couple of things in the 105s. I spoke with TSM, and a lot of times I'll hit that first pancake on the way coming up. But this shows, you know, a good variation of how you know how many different angles you can actually choose to attack these things with, and it's, you know, like on these right here coming in, you want to edge up ahead of them so they don't get you. You know what I mean? And you know, like right here, I'm turning all the way around so I actually have a better angle so I don't get caught coming in. There's actually a slow version of this that you can see, and try. I'm gonna tell you right now. Try
And also,
avoid
George,
those.
you can set this to half play speed.
Yeah. I think when I actually put it in,
No.
I did it at 400 times because I didn't think anybody actually wanted to sit through the whole thing.
No. But no, I mean, you could do that right now.
Oh,
You
and
can go to-
yeah, actually, I probably could, huh?
Yeah.
Go to like half speed.
There we go.
So yeah, right there where I can actually pull it back right here. You can actually see where I'm actually turning around to get a better angle when I start creeping up on this thing. And then this one, let me see. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one where I think I actually scoot up just a little bit. The oil fields, don't try and turn in them. That's another trick. If you haven't done these yet and you're starting to learn this raid, don't try and turn in the oil fields. It'll get you. You're gonna you'll slide right into something.
And that move that you just did, you know, you can just wait. You know, could you review to that where you were
Scooted up?
Where you just scoot up, or basically you just pay attention to your ship. You're sitting in front of them, facing away.
Yeah.
As soon as you see them fire, you click and then hit the down button.
Right.
And then just keep on waiting every time you fire, and they're not going to get you. But you know.
Yeah, they won't catch you, and you can still wait for it to come. So like right here, I'll fire, and then I'll scoot up, and then I'll wait again. And you only have to scoot up just a hair, just enough so you can reload.
Yeah, and I suggest that any people that has lag use this one because it's the most safety one of them all.
So, and I mean, like I said, trying to avoid the oil slicks. I've gotten lazy and I've actually used the oil slick sometimes and tried to line up, you know, the target. And most of the time, you know, I've gotten enough practice where I can do it, but I wouldn't recommend it to anybody.
Yeah, you have to spam a lot the down arrow if you are on the oil slick if you don't want to end on the top of one of those.
Yeah, it's but like this one right here, I'm hitting that second pancake now, and TSM at the end of the last raid said, hey, you know, you can actually hit that when you first come in. And I'll say this, it took me a couple times to get it, and you can do it, but if you want to be safe, don't wait until later to hit it. It's a lot safer. It is a little bit tricky driving to nail it the first coming in, but it does save you a couple of minutes.
See right here, this is a good example where you're setting the angle of that circle and just letting them drive into it. In both of these.
Yeah, and like right there, that was actually a shift click. Let me see if I can actually go, just because I had actually messed up just a little bit, and rather than see if I can pause it for a second there. So I'm coming in and I want to hit that scout right there, and instead I'm targeting that black one behind it. Rather than click the target and hit the down arrow, hit the shift button and then select it. That way you don't move at all, and then you can start sneaking up on it again. See how it's selected and then I moved?
Mm-hmm.
That's another little. I mean, some of the little things that a lot of us take for granted, some people just don't know. So.
Yeah, and the other thing is this mechanic works on tiger sharks and
Yes.
and whatnot. So it's more of a function of which torpedoes you have than the hull you have.
Yeah, you can do the same exact thing on the 105s with the tiger sharks. I would not ever recommend a tiger shark go into a 107. I'm going to tell you right now. If anybody has the patience for that, man, all the power to you, because there's no way I would be able to do that. That would drive me crazy.
Now, last raid, I'm going to say this last raid, I heard there was someone that was able to actually do 105s with a fleet of Spectres, but I could never find a video for it.
You could do them with Kudas if you had Scourge Torps.
Yeah, you just
The
need an
main thing
88
was that
range torque.
88 range, and pretty much as long as you're using something that's not a Spectre or not not a Pred or a Stalker, you're good.
Yeah, which I'm so surprised that they never released something that was really easy to get that had 88 range.
Yeah, like a researchable Forsaken, garbage tier for us, like tier 1, tier 2, 88 range torp. Because apparently the thermal in Cs is still such that you need an 88 torp to hit it. So people without
It's
88
the same.
range torps will take damage. And I understand why
Yeah,
they did it, but
and
that's
they
still
got the
built in.
chance. And they got the chance when they introduced those skirmish and assault torps in that Phantom TLC. They did. They could have done the range of those torps 88.
See, look, can you present Chris right now? Because what he's doing is slick. He actually, if anyone caught that, he actually snuck up into the range to hit that scout.
Oh, he's hitting the 107 now.
Yeah, this is the first one I ever hit. I haven't even watched videos of anybody hitting them yet.
Okay. So we could be witnessing a 24-hour repair in process.
The
half repair.
Everyone watch Chris screw up.
It's possible. It's possible.
The second Hulk is the killer.
Do the second one first.
No.
Yeah, do the second one first.
Really?
Yeah.
On that bottom Hulk, if you take that out, you can kill off most of the drones and they won't respawn. But if you kill out the top Hulk first, all the drones will respawn.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, that.
And
The drones don't bother me too much.
Yeah, there's more openings when all the drones are on. There are more openings to hit the bottom one clear than there are at the top. So yeah, I hit the bottom one first. That's what I did.
Today I learned. Because I saw the Frostler's no damage video, and I looked at what he did, and I think that was really clever on the part of Kicks guy. I mean, I hate it, and it sucks that I'm not doing it again, but I thought it was really clever, the way that you have to solve that puzzle, I guess they like to call it now.
Yeah.
The timing and the movement, you got to kind of move your hell wraiths along with the drones to keep them that far out of range.
Yep.
My mouse is going to get me killed. This is the second time it hasn't wanted to do the program down button I have on it.
Uh-oh.
So I almost ran that scout.
Now it gets interesting. Now, Chris, all it is just waiting for an opening. See that bottom one now? See that gap on that bottom one? That's all you're gonna get.
Really?
Yep, that's as much of an opening as you're gonna get. So with the stuff that you have on that, you're gonna have to go in and hit.
It's going to be interesting because he's hitting with Shannon, so he's not doing the damage of the twisters.
It's gonna take forever to kill the thing. And I think there's only like 3 openings that come up that are clear like that on the bottom one. If you don't kill any of the drones, because then it throws off the timing for everything. So, I mean, I'd probably do this and then go get your Tide Seekers or something and come in and kill it.
I only got one Tide Seeker, but I'm going to have to pull it out of the guard, so I might try that.
How many CT armors does your Tide Seeker have?
None. It's got Shockwave Plate 4.
Then you are boned.
Yep.
You will die just to scouts. You will literally die to only not scouts, the drones. You will literally die to only drones. I know because I did it, and I died to only drones with 1 D5 CT on there.
And it takes one shot.
It really does.
I've got one for you. There is a person in my alliance that was using my old reciprocator build that I used to do 2 full sets of B with 1 Tide Seeker. The only difference is 5 CT on mine, 4 pieces of it. She has D4 on hers because she doesn't have D5 yet. And her 2 Tide Seekers can't even complete before they die.
That deflection is massive.
Well, I don't think it's a deflection. I just think it's the absolute resist.
It starts at 80. Let me mock it up. It should be fun. As we all watch, patiently as
And please,
Yeah,
for
because-
anyone that's trying it, I've saw it in my sector.
what is
Please do not use anything that's not subs or tide seekers in this raid. I've watched people use revenges and rhinos to try and do the low stuff. Please don't do that, or you'll be repairing till next week.
Yep.
there.
Especially if you're hitting
And there
rhinos.
it is.
I'll tell you what, having 1 or 2 Cairo batteries on your fleet is your best friend if you're using subs.
Told you my
Oh,
mouse was going to get me
almost
killed.
Really?
Yeah, because the Cairo batteries extinguish the oil fields. So you get rid of the oil and you don't have to worry about sliding into the target.
That
Oh,
was
I just
that-
got used to
oh.
it. Oh.
they used in the
That's that 22 coin ouch.
Ooh.
I told you my mouse was going to get me killed. I hit down and it didn't stop and it just kept going. That's why I don't like this raid set. Your mouse messes up, you get 1 second of lag, you're screwed.
That's
Like
that's what I've
this.
been talking about from the beginning. It's so technical driving, and you get 1 second of lag, and if you're using a ghost crawler, for me it's a 22 coin repair.
And even
It might be
still-
cheaper.
Mine's like 24, I think.
It
That's
might,
with the halftime.
it might be cheaper for you just to refit that tide seeker.
Yeah.
I've got a spare one somewhere.
Yeah, let's take a look. That might be because
I
it's
think.
it's weird
Yeah,
about
see, I got a
this.
spare one. Yeah, that's the one I have sitting in my guard.
Ooh. Okay. Well, you could probably refit that quicker. But yeah, this raid's
And
weird
cheaper
because
than what it'll be to use that ghost crawler to hit these targets.
Oh, yeah.
Again, a
I
set
can
for 2
always pull the
coins.
second one out, but it's got like 56 combat speed, so it's hard to creep up on stuff.
Well, if you're using tide seekers, you're not creeping, buddy. You're blitzing.
Yeah.
Well, I was saying I could use my
Exactly.
second ghost,
You're talking about
but
is
that one's got
Well,
no
if you-
stealth.
Oh boy. Yeah, the weird thing with the lag and such in this raid is as well. This is a 5-year-old Flash game that just feels like it isn't taken care of all that well. Let's
Don't they
say.
use third-party servers for the raids?
Put away wet, ran over with a car.
I believe that for the raids that they do use.
Oh, okay.
No offense, they should stop using ones in Malaysia.
Or
That,
from Walmart.
but which
Costco.
is better?
So while we're watching Chris, like Dr. Death had said, cryo battery is actually a neat little thing that you can put on your Hellwraiths. I had it on my first for the first set of the raids because of the fire fields, and it worked great. But I went with more damage when they changed the raid set. But it
I
is a
can
very
probably
neat
put
little
cryo
trick.
battery on that ghost and it'll work better because it's still got the field tactical special for the original raid set of these.
The res
Add-on.
capacitor,
Yeah,
res
the one that
res-
boosted my defense.
the res battery. That was another little trick that I liked using. That was fun.
And because you're using Sharons, you're shooting enough. It's going to proc all the time.
Dr. Death, what did you take off? What's the additional thing that you have on your other halls?
Well, 3 of my holes are still built up for damage, and then 2 of my holes I took off the concussive edition, my damage bonus that I was running in the 5th slot, and swapped it out for Cairo battery. And it works wonderful. It takes care of oil fields. I don't ever have to worry about sliding into the targets. It's best in the 107. That's where I'm finding the most use out of it.
Okay.
I can see that because killing the black ones that are surrounding the holster, it's a problem at times when you have to sail around the target to avoid the drones.
Yep. And if you kill any of those bonus ships, oh Lord, they leave a massive oil spill.
Yeah.
But if you put an ice field on them, there's no oil at all. They don't leave any oil at all.
Yeah, I wish they would have put in this rate as well, that special, but they didn't.
Alrighty then. So
Yeah. So one of the interesting things with the prize
While we're
list for
watching
the
Chris.
raid, one of the interesting things with the prize list for the raid is there's no weapon in special, so it's a little merciful. I want to say,
really,
because well,
Merciful, you think?
really,
it
really?
could have been less
I think that
merciful. They could have had a 90
for the
million
cost
hole and a
it
weapon
is,
and a special, and then I would have, bought a table, brought it in, put it on my bed, and flipped it.
for the cost it is, I was suspecting the whole set and not just the whole.
No, I'm sorry, I got my tinfoil hat on, gentlemen, but I think we're going to get Jude on the weapon and special. I think they're going to drop it in a really hard TLC. We're going to see it within the next 2 weeks in a TLC. It's not going to be in the FM. It's not going to be in the raid. It's going to be TLC, and we're going to have to dump some coins to get it.
I'm hoping it comes out in the TLC like next week.
Yeah, because
Hey.
I think I am thinking worse than you guys, and I think it comes on the next raid.
See, and that's
That-
I might actually have to
no.
agree with Tito, because here's the catch. They're obviously changing the way Siege works. Okay, because it was splash based before. It's apparently going to be stun based now. Okay, the problem
And
is
walls.
if you and they wanted to limit the cannoneer, which I understand. I mean, otherwise they have to blow up the first raid and everyone gets pissed. So what they want to do is keep everyone, grouped together still or relevant. Okay, the only way you can keep everyone relevant is if there's not as big of a gap between everybody, which is really good, game design wise. The only catch is I don't know if this is the way to do it. So I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised that either we don't get one at all and we're stuck with what we got, or we get it late, either like right before the next raid or at the next raid or something.
They've
So what do you
actually-
guys think about the particle
But I think that
accelerator on it?
But I think that's wrong, as you say, George, because keep the huge gap. I think is wrong, because if that's the way, why you are giving the whole now? Which is the handicap if you get the whole now if you cannot finish the build.
To engender coining, and because you have you're still going to have
Decent
you're still going to have a better hull for the next raid. I mean, I think Brian's right. It's going to be that range and speed. I think are going to be key.
I'm also looking to
Because the way I see it is like now we started with the Twisted Torp, and look at that at the end. Nine's build is amazing, and he's just blowing, insta killing everything he's getting at range, and he's performing much better. Even the one hole that was supposed to be the one to exceed in this raid
Well, it's not performing better.
type. So
I
The Hellraiser
don't-
still performs it, and the thing is the tides. I have 3 different
Try
builds
to
that do the same thing.
Yeah, the
I
time.
think they do, because try to do the same with your subs and see how far you get blitzing the way
No,
he's
that-
doing.
No, it's
I'm going to tell
no.
you right now. I did it a lot cheaper with my Hellrace. It just took a lot more time.
Yeah,
My
you can do
Tide
it.
Seekers-
Exactly.
My Tide
If-
Seekers, I can do it with 3 different builds for the same damage. There's nothing really special about the Tide Seeker. It's the Tide Seeker itself that actually does this. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it's a fundamentally different way in how you approach the raid and use your time. Tide Seekers versus Hellwraiths. You can do for free with Hellwraiths, and they might take less damage from some hits than Tide Seekers. But Tide Seekers, you usually just build it up and put it on auto and don't even care.
Yeah, Tide
Which is
Seeker's
making
definitely
me-
a coining hole.
and they're going down. It will, with them saying that the Iron Hall, when it comes out, is going to be the Tide Seeker of that raid cycle. I'm going to get it.
I'll try to get it.
Now wait a minute. Say that again. They're saying this is the Tide Seeker of this raid cycle.
No,
that
the
means this is-
Ironclad, the Ironclad that's coming out next month is supposed to be the Tide Seeker of that raid, which probably means that it's going to have a shorter range, like the Centurion, and probably not as fast. It probably won't have the speed buff.
But it'll be the one that you can auto the targets with, basically.
Yes.
But that's the one that's
Yes.
easy to get. But that doesn't make any sense. So the lower coiners are going to get the coiner haul.
Yeah, that's what they do. That's what they're doing. And it doesn't make
Well,
sense.
Now,
Wait,
hold on.
what?
I think the planning they are using is wrong.
The Cannoneer is going to be available next month, probably at like 15 to 20 million. I'm guessing it's going to be 15 million again.
And I'll cry.
No one forced you to buy the damn thing, especially when they didn't offer a weapon and special with it. I mean, we're still waiting for a weapon and special for the Malice.
Here's the thing, though. You know how many coiners are going to be pissed off if come next raid, the Cannoneer, which we've gone out and spent our coins to make certain that we got. You know what I mean? Because it's supposed to be the top hole. If it's not the top hole, if we don't have the weapons and specials, and it ain't doing a better job than the Centurions or doing a better job than the new hole that's coming out, they just a slap in our faces. I hate to say it, but
I
really
totally
is.
agree.
They did say that this hull, the Cannoneer, is the skill hull for next raid, like the Hellwraith is for this raid.
I missed the skill word.
Yeah, and the skill one is the one that costs more, 1%. That makes no sense.
When you screw, it's
The skill
so
one
weird.
you should be able to do a raid for minimal coin, like the Hellwraith. If you drive it right and you have the skill, you can do it for free.
and
Is that why it has a 0.8 repair efficiency? Which is compared to the Apollo or the Hellwraith, which are about 0.4, 0.5.
Yeah, I thought they'd
because
make that lower myself. It's
But
okay.
with the Cannoneer, we have what was 0.8 or yes, and was
Cannoneer's
the
0.8.
Zealous. No, that is 1 point,
Zealous is one.
Zealous is one.
and the other one is 0.8. So, are you saying that that Ironclad is going to be 1.4 or 1.5?
No, it's gonna be
I-
0.8, but
Why
it's
would
gonna
you-
be
where
inherently
you getting that
worse.
from?
No.
No,
It's
no,
gonna be.
I was saying the opposite. I was going to say it's going to be lower, but not. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I find this. I wish we had.
Well, the Tideseeker is even lower than 0.8 inherently.
Well, yeah.
So-
So is the Apollo, the Hellwraith. That's why this was so surprising that we had
Yeah,
0.8
but if
for
they're gonna-
this, and then all the main raid halls that we got before were in the 0.45 range.
Right, but the Hellwraith being a sub is also far more binary in nature than a surface ship.
Okay, hi Jack. So that was one of the things I want to talk about. Looking forward, that skill-based raid. We noticed there's a 5 difference in range. We also notice the Cannoneer has a wall damage bonus inherent.
Yep.
We're probably going to be up against walls. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully they do not block splash, or your packs will be a sad panda. But
Packs and Earth Shakers, everything that doesn't have wall damage on it is not going to be happy.
yeah,
Everyone pull out your crossbows.
Ooh.
Yeah, that
But
is why
the thing is-
I was wondering, because I have seen in pages in people saying that they are building full packs, and I'm saying, wow, I hope that you are betting for an on-wall target, because if
Yeah.
that target has walls, you're going to screw up. When the splash gets into the wall and not into the target, you're going to hit.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it's-
tell you.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you. I have an article that I'm writing about building the Cannoneer and Centurion for the next raid, based on what we're
Man.
seeing in the Cannoneer itself, and I'm running 3 obelisks. That's the main thing that it's running around. And I've had Punishers with obelisks and crossbows, and the crossbow looks great. It's never performed as well as the obelisk when I tested them. I don't know why. I'm not
But
sure if
I
it's
think
inherent.
Arbalest is the wise one, because I say that because if you have looked at the max weight, it's 8,000 tons. So and the Arbalest is not lighter. So I'm not sure if I was going to go with Arbalest or with the Draconian one that is lighter.
You
No,
could
yeah,
mix
no,
arbs and earth
no,
shakers.
I've tried all 3 of them, and the obelisk always wins every time I've tested them.
And I'm going to say this, watching this target get hit, by now, I would have said, fuck this, and killed the damn thing 4 fucking times. and spent 20 goddamn coins and be throwing shit at the computer.
Yeah, now you know why I run a grease monkey and I just run through the damn thing with the tide seekers because fuck
Yeah,
that's
Goddamn,
why.
the grease
Yeah.
monkey will run out by the time you kill one fucking target.
I can get this target down. I think I got this target down to like 3 minutes of some shit. I mean, it's I have no patience for it. I have none. And I can drive me some subs. I just fuck this.
Yeah, this driving is poetry in motion, but it's very slow motion, and I ain't got
Hey.
time for that.
Yeah, I would have to clip my toenails before I was done fucking killing one of these things.
What's bad is when I'm doing my A sets, I've got an A set down to about 3 minutes flat. I can do 2.6 million in 3 minutes.
Sorry,
Well,
is that on
I mean-
auto? Or are you driving or?
I mean, that's me.
auto.
That's me on auto, and I can talk on the phone at work and
Oh, it's like
work
your
on spreadsheets at the same time.
And
Yeah.
boys and girls, that's why they invented the Tide Seeker. And that's what I'm saying. The Ironclad next month is going to be the same thing as the Tide Seeker is now. So if you got no problem doing that and spending the time to, do the auto and nonstop, do it. That's probably the whole that you're gonna want.
Now,
can I-
just to let everyone know, when they hear me
Go,
saying, yeah, it was coin and coin and coin, I only spent 102 coins for all the new haul plus the weapon and the special.
and the
Didn't
thing,
spend as much as everyone thinks.
and I spent none. I've spent no coin to get the Harlock's Tide Seeker. I've spent no coins to build it or the Tide Seeker or even refit the Tide Seeker after I screwed it up. I get build tokens from the FM. I did some simple math. Again, I can auto my raid with one ship, and you do 2 A-sets. You can leave for 2 hours and not even care and come back. You can get the new stuff for free. Unfortunately, you had to have the right build going in, but still. I wanted to finish up from earlier about looking forward in skill-based things. You get stunned at a very close to 100 range, probably, and you also need to kind of sit there for a while and wait. So you need to be at the very edge of your range and be patient and wait while you shoot down a target. What does that remind you guys of? What we're doing right now. I really hope that the mechanics for a siege raid, or at least at some level, different enough than the sub raid, even though a lot of people would be able to do them normally. It feels like it should be different because it's a different target. I don't want to have to sit and stop at the very edge of my range for every wall or every cluster of turrets for the next 3 months because Kick said this is what you will do.
Well, if you use arbalists or the crossbows, since they have pierce, you don't have to stop at the walls. You can just go for the turrets.
Well, yeah, but how?
Brian, are you
Oh, that's right.
suggesting that either you might be better off buying Ritalin or Valium instead of buying coins for the next raid cycle?
If they try and push the level of skill they're wanting to push like they've done this raid series, you might be better off getting the Ritalin. Because it's driving a lot of people just nuts.
It's
And
not
just
the
to
level of
clear
skill.
things up, I don't coin.
It's not a level of skill.
Uh-huh.
It is the same. It's not a different skill you're testing. You're testing the same skill on two vastly different targets with a vastly different way of subs, and their cloaking mechanisms and how those work versus thermal and sonar versus siege, which should be let's run in and kill the bastards.
But see, if they set the targets up like that, if they set the targets up like that with the way the new Cannoneers set it up, it's not going to work. Because if you look at the Cannoneer, it is set up to blitz, to jump in, punch the target, and jump back out. That's the way it's set up. It's not set up to take and slide in slowly and grab the target. This thing's set to bum rush it, hit it, and get away.
And the target should be designed around that style rather than creeping to the very edge and stopping so you don't get hit by some garbage stun that you're now stunned for longer because apparently they decided that was a good idea.
Well, what about if they're actually firing something that actually hurts really bad? If you're sitting still, like, I don't know, the Draconian Armada cannons, they combine that on top of having to kite the target so you don't get stunned. That would be skill, and it would be kind of similar to this, but not really.
That would depend on the layout of the targets then, depending on how much room you had to maneuver. A lot of our current siege targets tend to have, the mines themselves are pretty open on the outside, but like dubs, there are pretty narrow channels, and you can't really maneuver around those reasonably well, especially if you have arbalists shooting at you. Like, you're just not given the room. So it depends on
Well,
how
what
the
did we
target
say?
is set up.
What did we say the other night? What was the one that had Greta and the snowfall? Is that what it was?
Snowfall, yep.
Yeah, it was a giant central island. Like those, I think would be designed well for this. Mostly.
It's
And
you know,
I
it's
like
possible
Snowfall.
we may
Snowfall
see.
is fun.
It's possible we may see a new version for the next target with the way these cannoneers are built. It's very possible we may see a new version of the Angry Arcs.
No,
Where if you're
I
running
don't
straight,
think-
Everyone
I don't
is
think they're-
triggered, and everyone is
I
triggered
don't
right
think-
now.
I don't think they're going to change. I mean, that would you're talking about a missile. I mean, they're not going to add missile damage.
No, I'm just saying that we might see a weapon though that fires like that. You know, where if you're running in
Extreme
fast
range.
enough, you can get underneath it. But if you're trying to kite it or sneak in, you're gonna get nailed.
Yeah, I mean, that brings up a point that I was sort of wondering. I mean, if you hit the 97 drac bases right now, the 97 mining bases, you can tank with a siege hull, and then follow it up with some citadels or a remote targeting mortar fleet. And the angry arc idea does make some sense if they don't go Iron Curtain on you. As far as either making you take damage by creating a large dead zone like we've seen with the Cataclysm. Once you get close enough, it starts firing at the rest of your stuff. Yeah, I'm curious if that aspect of the target is going to be taken away as well. One way or
What do
another.
you guys think about? Oh, go ahead.
Either one way or another. Either we're not going to let your mortars land, or we're going to fire at your remote targeting ships because they're not siege and not what we want you to be doing with it.
What do you
Have
guys
you ever
think?
Have you ever gone fishing and swatted mosquitoes, thinking that if you swat them all, you won't get bit? That's what this hit's looking like.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know the range of the drones, so-
I think we'll be able to do next week's show before he's done with it.
Yeah, I was going to ask
Uh,
George if he has used that single tie seeker he has. Sorry, single head rate he has to hit 105, and he has tried here because he doesn't have enough weapons, I think, on that ship, and that's up to kill the big ones in the middle without having to get trouble with the drones.
No, I don't. I mean, you might.
Some of them might be Mayhems or Sharons. I can see other things being shot out.
Most of them are mayhems.
I mean, I can
Oh,
do.
I'm sorry then.
I can do the 105 with
No, fire
a single
twister, not
Hellwraith,
mayhems.
and I wouldn't flinch at even trying because I did it. I mean, but this I don't
I
think
did
I would
it
ever
too.
try. I don't think I'd ever try a 107 with a single Hellwraith.
Yeah,
No,
I tried.
you gotta have the firepower so you can get in there and do the destruction quickly. There's just not enough of a window.
And
Well,
you
once
really
I
do,
figure out the range on the drones, I'll be good.
and I think you really do need the twister. Again, we're talking about the Mayhem. I had quick refitted some because I suddenly had extra weight, because of how light the Mayhems are in Shipyard 4. They don't perform as well as I feel they should. They move so slowly that your second salvo of fire twisters is already there and has killed it dead.
I have
So
fire twisters on these. I forgot which one I had.
I mean,
Um,
I see their fire twisters. I see them. I know the particle. They look like flares.
Well,
That's really cool.
Guys, real quick, what if they bring back? You remember in the Reaver ones, they had that ballista that had the fire field with it
Yeah.
back
Ooh,
in the next raid.
that's interesting.
Follow with a frostburn.
I actually like that.
Is the
'Cause I was
damage
actually
from the
playing
fire
that-
field isn't splash though? It's not splash, right?
No,
it's
it's constant
just
damage.
radioactive.
It's constant damage.
But that would be nice because it would allow the Centurion to shine too for the splash damage reduction. If you're not fast enough or something and you take a hit, you take less damage because the thing would have to have a splash, right?
The tactical.
Yeah, it has splash, but the field
Tactical
itself
The
doesn't.
field doesn't,
Field,
but the gun does.
Do you,
Chris,
do you,
what-
do you know what I'm?
But the,
Do you
What
wanna know,
sector are you in? I'm gonna jump in there, and when you time out next time, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker with tide seekers. I will coin the damn jump. and come there.
Can't jump during a raid.
Yeah,
You know what I'm a little worried about for next raid is this: is they came out and they said that the raid sets are now going to be 3 raids, right, instead of 4.
that's awful.
And they
Yeah,
also
that-
said
that's
that
that's
they
awful
also
as well.
said they also said that next month the raid is going to be set around the Centurion. So we don't have a weapon. We have a new hull. The first raid is going to be set around the Centurion. So this hull that we just spent 100 million points for, or 90 million points for, is really for only 2 raids.
But does that also mean that they're
Yes.
going to quickly
Well,
start
you
replacing
mean
things
two?
on the map
The first,
with the raid targets?
Yes, they will. I mean, that's a given. That's a given.
George, you're saying 2, but meaning the first and the second, or the second and the third?
The second and the third.
Second, third.
If you that's your thought, I think it's just the second, because normally on the third, that is the last one of the raid, the hull that is supposed to be the one you are using, it gets that huge nerf, and we have seen that with the Apollo, and we have seen it with the Hell raid. So I don't know.
Well, not
And
the
how-
one that you originally get.
What?
You get a bonus haul somehow in a TLC right beforehand.
Right.
That's the one you're supposed to use, or a
Yeah.
weapon,
Yeah.
or whatnot.
Well, we only saw that.
So
in one
you're
raid.
saying that the first one is going to be more Centurion focused, the second one is going to be more the new Cannoneer, and the last one is going to be the Ironclad. So that's why when I say that the 40 million we have to pay for the Cannoneer, I cannot justify anyway.
I think
I'm
that-
gonna be honest with
I'm
you.
going to tell you
That's
what.
gonna be
If that's what happens next year in those first 3 months, there's going to be all hell's going to break loose.
Yeah, then that is a load of horseshit, and I will flip all the tables. Like, I really hope you're wrong, because that would be terrible design if they were to actually do that.
Yeah,
Well, you know,
Yeah,
hopefully,
it's supposed to be
I can
the
tell
word.
you, these
I think that-
decisions,
I
if
think
they
that-
come,
I think the
as we
third one's
said-
going to be Tito's Cannoneer.
The flagship Tito's
I'm
Cannoneer.
gonna.
Yeah.
I tell you what.
No
I think
way.
I think we're looking at the same path that we've looked at before. You know, when the first Apollo raid came out, they came out and told everybody, you know, the Apollo will be the ship to get, but you'll be able to do this first raid. You're going to be able to do it with the Rhino.
right.
You know, and how fast did we see that the Rhino was not the ship to use for that raid format unless you wanted to put a lot of coin out? And I think the same thing's going to happen this raid. They're saying, yeah, it's going to be built around the Centurion. No, it's not. It's going to be built around the Cannoneer. And if you don't have the Cannoneer, you better be ready to spend some coin.
Well, let
Um,
me ask
I've
you
already
this:
told
though.
you-
Is it worth the trade-off if they're upgrading instead of going every 4 months with the raid to 3 months? That they're taking some of this shit off the map, and we're getting 2 things out of one in, you know, our weeklies and in our normal chores.
You mean the
I
thing
don't
they
know
were
if
supposed to
that's
do 9 months ago?
Exactly.
Here's the trade-off. You know what I mean? That with us doing a raid every 4 months, that was adding 2 months of longevity onto a hull with them swapping the targets out. You know what I mean? Because you had the 4 months of the raid, and then you had a 16-month cycle before that raid was going to come up again. So that meant that hull from that raid was going to run you a year and a half. You see what I
Right.
mean?
And
But
back
now
to
that
what
they're shortening it, that's cutting that time, which means it's cutting the longevity of the whole, which means kick size just going backwards from everything they've worked on the last year. You know, we see
And
repair
exactly.
times going up.
they're doing the same
Yeah.
thing. If they keep doing it the way they're doing it and cut it down to a 3-month cycle, what are they going to do to the power creep?
Oh, yeah,
I've already
power-
told
The
everyone on the
power creep-
freaking.
the power creep they were trying to control some way is going to ruin the game again, because it's not that you're just killing 1 month or 2 from the whole. It's that the cycles of the targets that then get renewed are going to get shortened as well. So if your hull was going to last 4 months of the raid and then probably 8 months more hitting that target in the map as one of the chores, now it's going to get reduced to 2 or 3 on the raid, plus 3 more on the map, and maybe 3 more after. So we are going from 12 months at least, or a year and a half, as you were saying, to maybe 9 months or 1 year at max. So you are killing a lot of the longevity of those ships on that they were saying that we were going to get. So actually, all the promises are just thrown to the mud.
And
Well, I'll
not
put
not
it this
jumping on.
way, guys.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say I'll put it this way. I've told people on the 3 different pages that if you do not have a fleet, or if you don't have a cannoneer fleet or an ironclad fleet by February, have a. If you don't have a fleet of cannoneers or ironclads ready by February, don't even think you're going to get them done by the time that last raid. Just start building for map targets. There's going to be no way possible.
No, I'm just sad because I've thought Kickstarter has just gone leaps and bounds. This last year, the game has got so much more fun. We saw repair times go down, build times go down, and we were getting a lot more enjoyment. Felt like there was a lot more value out of the game. But now all of a sudden, with the changes they're making, it looks to me like they're flipping backwards. You know, that we're starting to head back down the same path we were, a year ago, back when we had that old Reaver cycle, when we were looking at, weekly, 6 to 8 days to build a hole, and the repair times was running 5-6 hours a hole bare. We're heading right back down that same path, and that's starting to really worry me because kick size just seems to be walking backwards. It's like they didn't learn their lesson last time.
I kind of agree with you there, but the other part of this is what I'm thinking is just like with this raid cycle. They gave you 3 holes. You got to guess on which one you're going to use and how it's going to be used. And what they're doing is, instead of increasing the build times and increasing the repair times, what they're doing is say, coin these holes, because you're going to have to, do it one way or the other. But they're increasing the span or decreasing the span of the longevity of the holes.
So that we'll coin more.
Well,
Exactly.
I think it's more than 3
and-
holes. I mean, I think it's like the Centurion, the Harlock Centurion, the Cannoneer, the Ironside, the Punisher. There's like a lot.
Saga's
The Zelos. There's a lot of things floating out there that are sort of ill-defined at this point, in my mind.
So we're getting content overloads. What we're getting.
Right. And for those of us that are, again, I'm talking for a top end player that's got everything, but they're still, for the top end player, you're scared not to get the hole because it's going to be the niche hole.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a bad position to put a player in. Get it because you have to, because you don't know if you're gonna need it or not.
That's just like
That's-
the freaking Harlock Punisher. It's
Because the huge problem we have as well is that last time on August we saw the target, those subs, and we were playing first with the subs we got, and then we played with the new sub we got on August, and we saw that it was performing much better. But this time we have no idea. We know it sits, and we are all thinking about the mines, but we don't know if they are going to follow that same pattern or they are going to create a huge new one.
I mean,
Well, the bottom line is, for top end players, we can't. And Kickside trained us to be this way. Y'all know that. Kickside trained us like dogs and said, if you have the top end hole, you're going to be the best in the game. If you don't have the top end hole, you're not. And it's been that way for freaking years. So now they're dumping all these holes out, and half of them have no value. Like you said, the Harlock's Punisher, that's a piece of junk. I wish I had never wasted a single coin getting it, because it has no value in the game.
It looks pretty. That's about it.
Yeah, and then they did the thing with the Apollo, where they completely changed it from a barely passable haul to a very efficient haul within 5 days after the raid, or 4 days. How many days afterwards did they change the repair efficiency? They changed the defenses. They changed that haul over completely after that first raid was completed, and that's the part that makes that we sort of got trained. It's in my mind. I'll mention anybody. Like, oh, should I get this haul? Yeah, I think you should get this haul because I think they'll fix it afterwards. Is what I tell people. After the Apollo raid.
That's happened. Yeah.
That
I
is-
was more upset with the Apollo raid, the last one needing the Zoe. I mean, that really bothered me.
Well, that was the thing I
It
was
drives
about
me
to
like-
bring up. They're throwing these fleets out there. You've got the fleets you can do the entire raid with, and then suddenly, if you don't have the Zoe, for example, you can't get parts cheap or real cheap for your Hyperion.
What would you define as cheap, though?
What I would define as cheap is the player like I'm playing. You know, if I'm going to do my chores, I ought to be able to auto my chores.
Well, I can say, for example, Brian has 3 blade regular Apollos, and he's able to auto 91s with them.
3 coin a pair. Get your 91s, whatever.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Yeah, we don't even get
It's a lot.
into that topic because they don't give us enough titanium out of those 91s. I'm sorry.
And it's,
What's a mega hull?
I mean, sir, that's sort of what I
Josh,
see
you
with
should-
this current raid.
Next time, bring a
and
stew,
then-
because if we talk about mega hulls and we don't have a stew, it's not the same.
Yeah, it's just so much more PG-13 when he's not around. Well, it's here, so maybe not, but
No, it ain't.
Who, me, PG-13?
No,
Well,
I'm
when,
fucking
when you,
Absolutely.
say,
you are
when you say words
PG-13.
on
No, we're
air,
talking
you are
about-
PG-13.
We are talking
You
about
put things in the
mega
side
hull
chat.
and we don't have a stew.
Yeah, you should see the side chat with me and Stu. It's definitely not PG-13.
Can confirm. I just ignored.
Yeah, you laugh your ass off.
Well,
I mean, the whole lead ships thing. While I like my lead ships and stuff, it can get to a point where it's overdone. I mean, the what's the one that came out this time? The Zoe Vendetta? Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah.
that thing's beast mode. I mean,
Yeah, it
holy
is.
shit.
Ewok built one, and he's been wrecking bases with retributions and the guard with them from the mortars.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
I even saw that on a base that was close to me.
It's beast mode. I mean, he messaged me yesterday and today, and I mean he's tearing shit up with it, and I'm like, come on, man, really? That's just
But how long
every time.
how long until they nerf it?
I don't
Everyone
think they're-
use
I
one
don't
in
think
your
they're gonna.
base guard.
I don't know about
please.
nerf it more as make everything else around it stronger. It's kind of an indirect nerf, like the Cataclysm Mortar. There's no.
The problem is we have the Harlock's Revenge, which there's 2 builds I think that I can think of right now that are absolutely wrecking bases. The
I can't
Vendetta,
make that gesture on this show. I can't make that gesture on this show.
the Zoe's Vendetta, from what I'm seeing so far, is fucking beast mode. I mean, every time it's I don't know. It's just like it's step and step and step and step, but it seems the steps are coming faster now than when we had all that massive power creep before.
Yeah,
And
but
then
they're
OP9,
gimmick holes. They're gimmick holes. For
If they work, they're not gimmick.
they work, but however, they don't work on every base. And again, we call it parts of the puzzle, but again, they're gimmick holes. You're either going to get them, if you're a top end player, and be scared not to. But I mean, come on.
Leonard Skinner has a good topic in chat. What is the point of getting the Cannoneer now, besides a potential trust deficit associated with winning it in the next Hall raid?
I think we said that depending on how they design the targets for next month or the next raid set meta, that extra range and speed might be what makes it or breaks it for you in the next raid. I mean, one of the things that I was talking with one of my friends tonight, and he was like, I might not put an engine on this thing because it has a stack for the speed and this and that, and I'm like, okay, that's a good idea, that's possible, but I'm not going to skip on putting a speed boost on the thing, because I remember the Apollo raid where that speed actually was absolutely needed in those targets if you wanted to minimize your damage.
Yeah.
The speed mitigated your damage, and I have a feeling that it's going to be the same thing in this one. That's why I was thinking about the cannons out of the Drac uranium targets, because if you're too slow, they're going to nail you. If you're fast enough,
They don't hit you.
you're good.
And I will say this with the Apollos, they kind of spoiled the game. Once you get used to driving the Apollos and the speed on the Apollos, everything else that you freaking drive is boring.
You snail mode.
Hurry up, Citadel.
Here's the
Hurry up.
Here's the thing: if you listen to a lot of times, if you listen or see some of the posts that the Kickside guys put up, they love They love the Apollos. They love the speed of it. They love the oil fields and the fun that you get in the oil fields. I have no problem thinking that, you know what, you're going to need all the speed that you can get on this damn thing.
Well,
It wouldn't surprise me.
It's
If
like
they
going
take-
home from your 18-year-old girlfriend. Is that what you're saying?
but if they take the damn technical time,
How'd you
like
know
on
that,
this
man?
raid, you know what I'm saying? Let you drive it fast, let you get it done fast, but turn fast and get the hell out of the way fast and kill it fast and get it done.
Yeah, I don't want targets next raid that's taking me 10 to 15 minutes to kill.
Or a whole show like we're watching Chris do.
Exactly. I mean, I don't like having a target
I
that's
just-
going to take me where I'm only doing, like right now, the average person, if they're using Hell Race, they're getting two elite sets done an hour. That's ridiculous.
Well, I'm telling you, he's got
Yeah,
2 minutes to time out. I can
Now-
jump my base there and kill it with a
Well,
What world we in? One of us got
So to focus in on the question a little more, the lack of canon and special, yes, I think that's definitely disturbing.
Worrisome.
I hope it's in the FM, because really a lot of the FM stuff, I'd rather
Are
have
you
a
sure
tier
you
5
want it on the FM?
ballistic special.
See, now,
Am I
here,
sure?
now look,
God, no, I'm just
Are
hoping.
you sure you want it on the FM? Because they are probably going to
DLC.
put it on the 3rd or 4th price, and you will be at least 2 weeks before you get it.
I have a
Yeah,
question.
no, that is a
this
problem.
is a question concerning the whole not having the cannon and what we discussed about it earlier. If you are looking at this raid right now, and you want the cannoneer, you're looking at 90 million points, correct?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
whoever's getting this hull right now is expected to be, I think, what they say, they wanted to limit it to a couple thousand or something, or a handful, a couple, a few thousand. What happens if they actually do release the weapon within before the next raid? I mean, the thing that worries me is if they do that, and we have that big of a jump ahead of everybody else, right? It's going to cause an even bigger gap in the disparity that people are complaining about already.
Well, the
Oh,
counter,
But
the
the
counterpoint
part
is
about that is,
If that gap is not going to happen, why it's going to cost you 90 millions? Why they are going to just pay 50 millions next raid for it?
Dang.
yeah, no shit. And why would they give us a haul if they're going to come out with a new weapon? How many people are going to be freaking pissed off that they spent those coins and they spent that time to get the hull, and then they come out with a weapon and you've got to refit the whole damn thing.
I'm just
We've
saying.
seen them do that before.
Because
That's the
George,
problem.
this is likely having a big queue and a normal queue, and at the end of the show, before entering into the show, you get those two queues lining one in front of the other, and you have to mix with them. So, what was the point of getting on the big queue?
The
Well,
bonus that you
I
get
will
from
say
the hull.
this: we have a lot of cannons right now that even if we don't have a new weapon for this haul, we have Earthshakers, we have Arbalists, we have crossbows and packs. I say easily with those cannons, we can come up with a build that's going to do it decently. And if they come out with it in a TLC or in the raid, we're going to at least be able to do it, hopefully. Weapon. And I mean, I'm seeing people in chat saying the only way to get a cannoneer fleet out is to coin it. Guys, you don't need a 4 and 5 ship fleet, hopefully, for this next raid.
I mean,
Okay.
the other thing is, though, is what happens if they don't put one out at all? I mean, that is a possibility that they do not put out a cannon at all. It might be a reason why it's not out.
Then they need to announce that on the Wednesday after the raid. We need to know that. Like there was certainly an argument for doing that, but we need to
This
know.
is something where Kickside needs
Because
to give us
if,
some info.
if they don't put a weapon and they have to make us wait for a whole month now before we know exactly what we are building, I tell you, I buy myself a flying ticket to San Francisco and I go to the CEO because this is crazy.
Tito, I'm saying, what
But George, we know why. George, we know why everybody thinks there's going to be a new weapon and special.
because they usually do.
No.
Yeah.
It was your show. You were on it. Rakin said there was going to be one on your show.
Rakin said there was going to be a cannon coming out. We still haven't gotten one for the
Okay, a new
maps yet.
cannon and a new special.
Right.
Yes.
But why are you presuming?
He did
why are
say
you
that.
presuming it's for the Cannoneer and not for the Malice? We didn't get one for the Malice either.
Oh, they're both
They'd
doing
be-
the same thing.
But
Yeah,
the
they're
same-
siege targets.
Well, wait. He could be
Walls.
right. They could make the special gas conqueror, or they maybe just generalist for everybody. So we don't know yet. Because
I
we saw
will-
the
Let's hope
same
they
thing
don't
with
make
that.
another
I will end
special
some
come out.
fools if they make that conqueror.
I will say this much just by looking at the way the game is set up right now. If you're going to build a Cannoneer, or if you're going to try and set up Centurions to do this next raid, my best advice to you is to take a look at the level 9 walls they just released. Because if your weapons can't punch a hole through them, then they're probably not going to punch a hole through the walls they're going to put in the next raid.
Arbalist.
Let's hope like hell
I
they
mean,
don't
that-
come out with another weapon like the Switchblade, to where it's a coaxial freaking ballistic piece of shit.
No,
But I mean,
let's
if you look at it, they always take whatever we get and make it stronger, and that's what comes out.
at
And
least significantly different.
yeah, with the Earthshaker cannons, the pack cannons, they cannot go through these new walls.
Right.
You know, I've had Malices
Forever.
come in that's had Earthshakers, and they just sit there and bounce off the walls pretty much.
What if?
Yep.
Can a cannon have wall dodge chance like a rocket does?
Nope.
They can have whatever they
Get
want.
it?
No,
They
but I
can.
mean, they got piercing.
Would they? Probably not.
They got the piercing damage. That's what you need is the piercing damage. So you hit that first wall and keep on punching.
Hey,
Yeah, but then
they-
we just have that already.
if we
Let's
can
not
have a
get going.
torpedo that cannot hit subs, we can
Yeah,
have a
that's
cannon
true.
that dodges walls.
Well done. We did it.
He nailed it.
If we can have a hole with negative 50% stun resist. Well, really, the answer to the question, I think, is I think they're kind of training us to build blank holes for the FM. And I said it in chat, but I'll say it here. You don't need to coin them to have a fleet of 4 ready for VXP weekend. I have 5 days of tokens saved up from the FM because I planned ahead. If you get all the tokens, which is about 11 days, you've got pretty much, you can put a
Yeah, you
railgun
can-
D110 on them and have 4 of them set up, no coins.
But
Well,
you want
Brian-
to try.
Brian,
And
you're-
even
go ahead.
I was gonna say, even from the raid that we have here, I have 2 days left on my third blank ready to go, and I didn't save up a single freaking thing from the FM.
Oh, you're just a baller then. Congratulations on getting 90 million super quick.
But you know, I think part of the reason why they're trying to train us to do it this way is because they make coin. Look at the repair time on these holes. They're gonna make coin VXP weekend if everybody suicides their fleets.
Yeah, no
Don't
kidding. In
surge
an
your
hour
fleet.
and 20 minutes, and we're still killing the same fucking 107.
Okay.
Well, hey, what world are you in, buddy? Because if you're in my world, I'll send my fleet over and help you out.
Okay, no, like
I-
next level.
I'm
next
gonna have a
level-
show when he finally does it. So the show's gotta.
Oh
show's
God, we're
going
still
on.
Well,
going.
the show's gonna go on till midnight then. What are you
I'm
talking
gonna
about?
talk about crap.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna send him 100 fucking coins to go ahead and suicide the fucker.
Here's your repairs. Hurry up.
everybody's waiting to see how this ends.
Oh,
We're
no.
more
Death and
invested in
destruction.
this. We're more invested in this than a whole series of like 24 or whatever show you watch. It's gone on long enough.
Come on, step it up, Chris.
No.
Hey, all I gotta say is this: how about we end this?
Don't make
How
him
about we
step
end
it up.
the show
I'm
when
just-
he kills the target?
yeah.
Or dies. No, it's no the next level VXP strats, you guys. You put your engine and your one gun and your nuclear accelerator on it, and then you have your really high missile resist thing, like an FM Punisher build or an Apollo with hopefully not so many blades on it so it doesn't kill it, and you lead it around with your Apollo and make it kind of follow, and then you blast it with your D110s, and if you have the corrosive, the heavy cruiser, you have like a 50-something combat speed with your speed system and your your speed system and your nuke excels. So you just outrun that ship all day and you shoot your little pea shooter guns at it, and you do that, and you time out, and you do it again, and you get your VXP that way without suiciding your hulls. If you want to, you can, but there's strats.
Well, I'm doing 3 cannoneers, so whenever I can actually slow repair, because I'm going to use a grease monkey with it and stuff like that. But it'll drop my repair enough so I can slow repair, hit it, go back and hit it probably about 2-3 times a day with slow repair, and I will skull all 3 out by the end before we lose the good targets.
Well, actually, we don't know because we don't know if the targets are changing or not.
They shouldn't, because normally it's siege, but they don't give VXP for buildings unless they specifically code it, and even then, that's not always proven to actually work. So,
But we
don't.
we
The same VXP targets.
I hate to say it, but Kickside needs to bring whip back.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. We need information, and they're not giving us any.
They're not
I
going to do that, though.
They're not, and as long as I feel like they should tell us
I'm
on
tempted to
the
bring the whip back on, next Wednesday's show.
Hey, I have a
They-
question.
I can make up any facts associated with it and say it's the works in progress.
They have replaced the whip with shows that are on the air now.
Yeah, that's
And
awful.
the players
Why
that-
the hell
That's
aren't
a
we
mistake
getting
because
money?
Well, hold
not
on,
everybody
guys.
is watching the shows. So before you got a way to see it, and now you have to watch a show, and not everybody's having the time or the will to watch the shows.
Yeah, but you know what?
But
There's
you gotta
less whining-
remember the
there's
people
less
that
whining and bitching to Kickseye about it. That's the catch.
Who's doing that? They're whining and bitching now.
No, the people that watched the shows were not the ones that were whining and bitching. The people that didn't watch the shows and didn't read the whip are the ones that were going on and saying, "Why didn't this happen right then?" And,
Exactly. The rest of us were
they don't
actually
understand
being
work in progress.
use out of that.
Doesn't mean-
Or they could be reasonable human beings and understand that, sometimes things have problems and get delayed.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It
our
doesn't matter.
community.
Even without there being a whip, you go on forums and all it is a shit fest.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So the whip was actually helping some players out there. You know what I mean? And we were actually getting good use and good value out of that. Work in progress. We knew it wasn't set in stone, but it gave us at least a guidepost. To work with. You know what I'm saying?
And if you look at the forums though now with what they did taking the whip away, if you actually follow the forums like I do, the bitching has gone. I mean, 50% is less than what it was.
But has the participation gone down as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, but,
Yes.
but
That's
Uh,
okay.
Yeah. Participation
Do you
dropped
want-
quite a bit.
Do you want those idiots on there anyway? I mean, hell, let them watch the damn show.
But
They're not going to watch this show. They're just going to quit the game.
But you don't have to sit there and read them idiots. You know what I mean? I would go on forums every month waiting for the whip, and I would read the whip. And I didn't care how other people decided they wanted to comment about it. I just ignored them. You know what I mean? It gave me a guidepost, though. I'd talk to my ally mates. I'd be like, look, this is what we might be getting. This is an idea of what we can be working towards. You know what I mean? It gave us a fundamental guidepost to work with. Even if it didn't always come out the way the whip said it was going to, we still had a guidepost, and it kept things going forward in the game. Now, a lot of us are sitting here just twiddling our thumbs. What's Kickside going to do next? We don't know. Like, we don't even know when the weapon and special might come out, or if it's even going to be for the new ship, or it's going to be for the Malice. We don't know because we're not getting any information.
Well, that's what I was going to ask before. Is when, the
And we
last
just
time
start
when we had the Hellwraith come out, when did we get that test server? Wasn't it the week after?
Yeah.
So we might get a test server next week. That might answer everything.
The test servers don't. I mean, again, they need to. I brought this up a couple weeks in a row. They don't need to release information through test servers or shows like this or anybody else's. They need to release it via Kickside employees on the forum or within the games as far as pills or messages or whatever way. But they can't be relying on this sort of, what's the word for it?
Instead of pinning stupid post on the forum, they need to put a freaking whip there that says, "This is what's happening. This is what's coming up. Get ready for it." Instead of, like I said, pinning stupid posts.
What I would like to see happen is, rather than a work in progress, is Kick take a fucking vacation for a week and not post anything about what's going to happen. Get the code right. and say this is going to happen in the next 30 days, and put it out there. This is going to happen. You can prepare for it, and not call it a work in progress. Call it an up and coming. This is going to happen.
Or
don't
even
think
give
it
us a
matters.
freaking calendar. Just give us a calendar. Okay, we got TLC's planned for this week. We got the raid planned for this week. VXP weekends planned for this.
Hold on, we had that. It went from that to the work in progress to nothing, because if they missed a date, if they missed anything, people would freak the fucking shit out.
And the point that I was trying to make
And
was,
they're so fucking sensitive. Is that what you're saying, George?
yeah, now it's
No,
backwards.
I'm saying the community.
No, they're
has-
too. I mean, what was okay? Why do they care if people didn't like it on the forums? I mean, if people were still engaged in the game, that's one thing. But if they made some comment on the forums, that's about people being too sensitive about being. I don't understand that part of it. That people
And
say
exactly,
something on the forum is really should drive the economics of their game and how people view the game. I mean, it's that. I find that part of it to be silly in my mind.
It's just like being a fucking movie star. Sometimes you get that many people bitching about something in the forums. Everybody in the alliance, they go back and talk to them. They go to the forums and they learn this shit. Yeah, they're bitching, but at least they're paying the fuck attention.
And they're still spending the gold.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you could go to your sector right now, ask how many people know what is changing at the end of this raid. You'd probably have 50-50. Everyone thinks either the FM is changing or the Armadas.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that's true. There's a lot of people who think the FM is changing next month.
Yeah. There's so many
And then
people
we
that
have
don't.
Laredo on
There's
the
so many people that do not know that there's going to be 2 different uranium targets out after the raid.
Do you know how many fucking times I get asked what a subsector core is? Come on.
That's kind of Kickside's fault. They need
That's
to.
Brian's base. Brian's base is a subsector core.
No, mine's a lot easier to kill than the subsector base.
And then the Rado, who's a moderator, was in last, I think Wednesday's chat, saying that it was already released, the fact that Conquer Halls aren't going to be allowed in PV targets. I mean, the only places I heard about that was a hangout with GD Rankin, and then rumors from Price on another show, George dropping hints here and there. But the fact that the moderators think that's released, that's
Yeah, it's not that particular thing is not beneficial. That's an issue. And
Wait,
one of the
I
issues.
Oh, go ahead.
One of the overall issues with this game, I think, is that it's not updating the way information gets to new players in terms of either like tutorials or really what we're talking about right now. There's so much more information, but it's just not getting into players' hands, and they're not even going back and looking at how the information flows to players.
Yeah,
It's a
I mean,
shame.
a lot of times, like when I heard about that, I heard it secondhand, and I mean that's why I wouldn't come out and say, "Hey, it's going to happen," because I wasn't sure.
But now I've heard on that same issue that they've walked that back, that they're not going to do that now.
It's the
Yeah,
new
that's what-
Conquerors.
that's what
I heard.
What I heard,
Yeah. See, this is all bullshit information.
Yeah, we
Exactly.
speculate.
Kickside not giving us,
Not
or Kickside. Look, Kickside got. The bottom line is Kickside needs to give us info. Look at the Mayhem Torpedo. How many people got pissed off over the Mayhem Torpedo because Kickside didn't explain to us that it was not meant for subs?
Can I say something about that? Because I actually was really annoyed about this one aspect. A week before I actually tested it and made that video, someone actually had a thread in the forums asking, okay? And no shit, it was ignored until I put the damn video up.
Yeah, I saw that.
Bitch, please send your bitch to George and let him process it.
No. There's moderators. Send it to the mods. I got enough to deal with the TFC. That's.
But they
my hands are full.
they need to give us the information that we need for playing the game. They want us to spend our money on the game, then give us the information so we don't feel like we're wasting it.
I think relevant relevant information, yes. I don't know that they, I don't know that I want to sit here and demand them to tell me like, what's your plans for freaking July of next
Lunch.
year. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
relevant
no.
information
No,
like, hey,
George,
we're not gonna release
Give you
this
a
weapon
bit
for
of
a reason.
what's coming. You wouldn't find yourself building
Can I
an
finish,
upgrading
Tito?
turret.
I'm gonna mute your ass in a second.
Yeah.
Can I? I
Go
mean,
ahead.
if they came out and said, hey, we're not going to give you this gun because of this, okay, that's relevant information. I could see that. I would love to hear that. The only issue I have with that is, would we accept it or would we freak out about it if we didn't agree? Because I mean, I'll tell you right now, Hefe is banned because he doesn't agree with a lot of shit. You know what I mean?
It depends how far ahead of the time it's relevant we're given. Like if we're given this information on Wednesday and they said, hey, there's no new gun or whatever, not going to be in time for January, I'd be sort of okay with that. But if you're going to, yeah, because I could plan around that. But if you're going to throw it to me the last week, like I don't see it in the FM, and I say, okay, maybe there's going to be a TLC, but they would ignore it because like they do. And then this last week, oh, there's nothing. Panic.
I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if they did it like almost like they used to do it, to where you could use fleets that you had on the first cycle of the raid, and then in that raid you had ships that you had to win to be successful in the next cycle of the raid. I wouldn't mind that at all.
All right, Tito. I'm curious what the hell you were trying to speak over me for. What was it? Tito.
About the whip, what I was saying that if you need something, at least I don't say that you have to tell me that next 44th is going to happen this, and the 45 at 6 o'clock is going to happen that. But at least some ideas. You cannot go like last week when people was building or upgrading turrets on a light and come with an OP9 and drop it in front of you and find yourself that you have to coin 7 days on that turret, or you cannot do like most of the people did. That was just a glitch.
Yeah, I mean that I can see. I mean, I wouldn't mind. Like I said, I don't think I'd mind having them give us relevant information. And in an area that's everyone can go, or it's designated, or even in a pill in the game, something. And Darren, if you say a fucking floating bottle into your goddamn base again, I swear to God.
I think there ought to be a test.
See,
so that
here
you
we
can
go.
learn shit.
So anyway. I
And
mean,
you
relevant
get-
information.
and you get fucking-
I have no problem with relevant information. I have an issue with people demanding too much, and there's a line, and I don't know where the hell it is because no one really wants to talk on either side to figure out where the hell that line is.
The line that people want is for actual good builds to be handed directly to them, like in a Huggies link, and even then they're still screwed up.
No. See, in my opinion, it's real simple. If they're working on something that's going to come out in 30 plus days or whatever, I don't even want to know about it. I don't care about it because it's not something that's affecting my current game. But like right now, we've got the new hull. You know what I mean? I've got to decide: am I going to go ahead and take my coins and build this hull with my old weapons and my old specials, and then a week before the raid, they're going to drop something on me to where I got to coin refits? You see what I mean? No, they should give me some kind of information so that I know, because that's in this cycle. That's when I'm spending my coins. Let me know the information so I know how to spend my coins. You know what I mean?
Dr. Death or anybody else, do you remember some of the older videos that were put together by Swag where it was like 2 or 3 second snippets where you had to re-watch them again and again to figure out what the target was going to be like?
That was before my time.
Yeah, I remember that used to piss off everybody.
Yeah, just have Swag voiceovers, please, for Christmas. Swag's
back with Kickside, but he's not.
So where
part
the
of this
fuck
game.
is Swag?
He's a Kickside. He's a Kickside, but he's not in this game. He's one of another game. But what I'm saying is, like, if they wanted to do a preview of the upcoming targets, they could have grandiose music and then these graphics of somebody hitting the next set of bases and like 3 second snippets. And if you watched it 3 or 4 times, you go like, okay, I can't use mortars. I can't use this. just enough to figure out how to move forward, enough to figure it out. And as long as it was reliable and you could trust them on these clues that they gave you going ahead, I think that would be, I think that would be helpful for gameplay. I think it'd be helpful for conversations in the forum that would be more positive and more group building or whatever you want to call it. But I don't know. Am I the only one that remembers these, or maybe I'm just
No, I remember 'em.
imagining?
No, I remember them.
Yeah.
Very good.
No, I remember those.
I remember them, but I think they moved into a position now, like with the damn citadels. They gave you the hints. They pretty much threw them out there. They gave them to you, and people didn't take the hint, and that's where they're going right now. It looks like.
Yeah, but now they're giving you no hints. They dropped the whip. They dropped all that. Even the straightforward. Even though I think Doom Rooster speaks a little bit like Yoda on his, release notes. Like
Citadels you must have.
yes, every single show is like, what does that mean? I mean, that's I find that amusing that every single show is like, we need to translate what the bug fixes are. I could. If anybody watched the Wednesday show, you saw that I wrote one. I didn't tell anybody till afterwards, and everybody seemed to understand it. It's just sort of odd the way that communication is structured at this point. But as far as a works in progress, if it was more clue-based as opposed to nothing at all, as opposed to just releasing hauls and doing whatever, it seems like it'd be more fun to try and figure out what they were doing based on actual clues, as long as they backed it up with actually doing what they showed us, not screwing us over by doing something different, but like showing us 3-second snippets of boom, 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 music and whatnot. I would find that amusing and fun to do, but that could just be me.
As much as we've been talking and everything, and you were saying the snippets with the mortars, I don't think we're gonna be able to use mortars in the next raid cycle. They've saw that we're
Based on what? Based on what?
just the fact. Okay, right now they were expecting us to use Centurions to hit the 97 mines when they first came out, and we've came around using Harlock Centurions, Vendettas, or Harlock Citadels.
Nines. 1 second. Could you tell me what they did to make you think this way?
I'm just saying that I think the 97 mines were kind of a little bit of a practice run on seeing what we would do to a new siege target.
Yeah,
Stop building some spites.
but
I'm
no-
running a Malice and Citadels, and I'm doing them for 10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If 97s are a preview, you can definitely use mortars, but I don't know I don't know that that's true. I mean, I would like to see, the Iron Curtain show up. I wouldn't like to see the Iron Curtain show up, but I would like to see if that's part of the game that's coming up. At least in my
I have a feeling.
Just use Judgment Mortars if they bring in the Iron Curtain.
I have a feeling Iron Curtain will be in the game as long as we hate it. But yeah.
But again, you're not Nines. I'm not trying to be difficult on you, but you're bringing up stuff.
I get what you're saying.
You're not doing anything that they've actually done. You're just assuming. I want them to give us those clues. I don't want you to give us those clues or somebody else to give us those clues.
Yeah, we're all just taking stabs in the dark because we're in the dark. Kicksai's keeping us in the dark pretty much on everything now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At least like little clues that we could look at. I think that would be a fun part of the game if we could actually look at that and see what's coming forward, what's going to happen, and watch a little bit of the future game mechanic in action. I don't know. I think it would be fun. I've been playing for a while.
Well,
I like that idea.
One of the things with that future game mechanic, they don't make it on the fly. I mean, I've heard from Doom Rooster in the past. I can't remember which show it was and when, but they were saying they were still working on some of the ships for new hulls, like up until a week before the raid.
Well, they tweak. I mean, I think what he had said was something in the forums one time where they tweak all the way up until the end. I don't know that they're gonna try and come up with a full raid the week before the fucking raid.
I mean,
Yeah. That's what I'm talking
killer,
about.
Psychedelic floating death motors, anyone?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, or I could bring up the a legal term of assault deflection bypass, things like that they've introduced to the game.
Wait, Hefe, didn't you talk about that somewhere?
Yeah. But yeah,
Please God, don't get him started about him getting banned. God.
yes.
Wait, he got banned?
I got banned off Kick-Size forums.
Oh my God.
so cannons, use them. Zealous with the new
Use-
flechette feeder. The Zealous is a beast, by the way.
I think someone has to kick nines.
Like,
But
I'm just trying to keep things relevant.
I actually really like the Cannoneer. I mean, if you consider the fact that I've run out of girls to post associated with the bug fixes, the Cannoneers, oh my God.
Can I add a qualifier?
The internet
You have run out. You have run out of
Those were definitely cannons that I would
safe
use.
to post.
Speaking of that, we didn't have no damn slides
Um,
tonight.
Nope.
Just Google search if you want to find the
Yeah.
girls.
Look at that. We are lasting nearly double the time we normally do without the girls.
If we have to teach you
So
guys
that's-
how to
that's
use the damn
more.
internet, I mean, holy shit. Wow.
I can't use
Teach
the internet.
a lot
My
of people on
fucking
the-
microwave's on.
Yeah.
They go hardwired, but I'm in this box, and there is no hardwiring to anything in the box.
I don't want to know. So, anyway,
And
an
that's all,
almost
folks.
2-hour show, yeah. An almost 2-hour show turned into a little bit of a bitch fest at the end there. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's fine.
I typically try to stay positive, but yeah, it did kind of get negative, didn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, sometimes you can safely and constructively express a negative opinion if given proper reasoning, or sometimes something just sucks and you got to say it.
Yeah, I didn't make slides tonight. Everybody saw it takes about 4.5 hours to do a 107. So I didn't have time.
Instead of watching
didn't
that
have
107,
I still
didn't
want to know,
have
did he
slides.
finally finish it or what?
I think
don't
they
know.
arranged it.
Come on, I'm gonna message him.
it's the Schrodinger's 107. It's alive and dead simultaneously.
I think he got killed at the end of it, so he didn't post the fucking
Brian,
winning.
That was
Yeah,
fucking
I did see him
fantastic.
die.
I'm laughing my ass off.
There's one more spot if he wants to come back. So, and
He might have
Everybody's
died from
giving-
a blood clot in the leg and go for so long doing those targets.
he's getting old at this point. No, but
No, that'll happen no matter the age. Get up and walk around a little bit once in a while, everybody. Please don't do that in blood
Bed
clots.
sores on your ass.
That too.
Look,
I'm
Emery,
still
Emery
waiting.
probably brought it over there and stole it.
The way
Still
that
told you
Brian
didn't want
is
to show the
so
screen
peaceful,
anymore.
because he has a second door that we don't know it's behind, but probably is the reason that he's so calm.
yeah. One of the things I'm trying to figure out.
Peace, Grant.
One of the things I'm trying to figure out when the show goes this long, how do we? Because I think a lot of people, well, I'm not even sure if Cuttlefish is still with us, but we still have as many users as we did at, as many watchers as we did as an hour.
That's
Never
why-
How do
bothered
we
to turn-
explain
never
where
bothered
we cut it? Where we cut it
Just-
off?
We're
All I want to know is who the fuck is
background
rap?
noise for them, like they're just listening to us ramble about.
All I want to know is who the fuck is Raptor?
You know Raptor.
Oh, well, he
Yeah,
ain't said a goddamn word.
He's in chat all the
That's
time.
okay.
He's just
Don't
saying
get
hi and
him,
hello.
don't get him started because he won't stop. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows.
starts-
He knows.
we got-
He'll admit it. He'll admit it too. He's not shy about it at all.
This has been the Crib Show. Why are you still here? Why are you something?
We need that.
Anything
We need
else?
that. We need that.
Brian's fucking microwave came on. He's breaking up.
We need that clip. We need that clip from Deadpool at the end of the movie where he's like, coming on, going, "Why in the hell are you still here?" That's
Just go home. There's things to see here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian sounds like an alien now.
We're still trying to figure out. We're still trying to figure out if these are. Do we
No,
open
that's
the door? Brian, could you open one of those doors? Just for I don't think they're doors. I think you have a ladder that goes to the ceiling.
Don't open the right-hand door because that big hairy dude.
That those doors
Put him on present. Put him on present.
Oh, he's not.
Put him on present. That's the closet, right? Oh, it's gonna freeze on us now, isn't it?
Yes. Because
We're gonna see the whips and chains now because that big hairy guy's out the other door.
he's gonna get dropped because his computer got vaporized.
There it is.
Okay.
No, they're hiding the cards, not hiding the death laser. That's the other
We were
door.
saying maybe
I knew
a dead hooker or something, but death laser.
I knew he was
Sure.
trying to improve his video quality.
That's behind the other door.
Okay. Guys, thank you for sticking around for 2 hours listening to our friggin' babbling.
Well, does anybody want to have any? I don't know if Chris is coming back.
I messaged him. I think he's still trying to hit that damn 107.
I mean, he's still online.
Trying to hit that dark
Let me
side.
ask.
I think that with just a single Hell Wraith, it's going to take him forever to kill that thing.
It was taking him forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Literally,
He might have already killed
That
it.
he was. I think that at that point he was still warming up. He was not still hitting.
he started.
after an hour and a half.
He was just warming up.
I saw him spend $250 trying to kill 107.
I saw
fucking
him
boat.
start that 107 when we started
You
the
have
show.
time to build the fleet that Brian and Nines is using and kill the target before you kill it with that single
Before
hero.
that, that can't. Well, my one can't do S sets, but if you build 3, apparently it does S sets just fantastic. So
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
There, you guys. I put it over in chat. There's y'all a Canon picture. I don't know how to screen share.
Nope.
So.
Yeah.
I don't
we
think I
trust-
want you to
I don't
screen
trust
share
links.
this.
Yeah, I don't trust links.
No.
I tell you, I just watched it, and you better trust it. Yeah, especially
You better trust it. Like you're
it
under
has one
duress
of
to
those
make us
nice
click
backsides
this
that
link.
you love so much. So if
no.
you have not yet, you're wasting your time and your
Hefe,
life.
Hefe, end the fucking show. We're done.
No shit, we're done. I gotta go eat.
Yeah, I got to get out of here, gentlemen.
I'm waiting for you and Dr. Jeff to take your shirts off, but we can end the show before that.
Please end
does
the
anybody-
show before Doc takes his shirt off.
I can say after that picture from
Hey.
Dr. Death, I think that he has full attention in this
Hold
show
on,
because Hef is going to love it.
I have an update. I have an update for Chris just now. Live update.
No, he's not coming back. Yeah, I know that.
No, he's not, but he did send this.
Did he
Yay!
Oh, fuck.
Is it bad that I expected a timer up in the corner to say 2 hours?
He finally Finally got
Nice.
it.
But did he kill it, or the server said, you know what, I give it to you?
A mercy suicide. It committed
mercy
suicide.
killing.
Please. Yep.
Someone was checking the magic and they're like, the hell is he doing? Oh my god, that poor soul. He must have like no life whatsoever.
All
Hey,
right.
buddy.
Whatever.
Suicide.
Okay.
All right.
Does anybody
Okay.
have any closing statements?
Yeah, this was a long fucking show, man.
We're done. End it.
Okay, it was.
Yeah.
Damn.
Somebody-
There may be
Somebody
no after
David
show
was
tonight,
saying that there
guys.
was no after show tonight, and I think that we did show and after show all online this
All at
time.
once.
Fuck,
Yep.
we did the after show during this show.
Yeah, we did. I'm going to bed.
I usually like to end the show when George is telling everybody to fuck themselves, but you know.
That was an hour ago.
I will say this, guys. For about the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be in and out of the game. So if you guys are looking,
Go fuck yourself.
I'm ready, everybody. Well, join us on Wednesday or Friday, and
he fucking
he'll-
muted me, you bastard.
Yeah. He's lucky I'm not the one that kicks, because he's not I will kick him a few times.
we appreciate your, if you like to watch the show and whatnot. But we're having a good time, and I hope you did too. Come on, George.
There may not be
George.
alcohol involved.
George, provoke them. Tell them to go fuck themselves.
After that 107, I'm going to go clip my toenails.